Say what? You're keeping what in the closet? Your voiceover booth? Oh my goodness. Yeah, closets can make really good voiceover booths. So let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank a viewer that I cannot recall. I went back through the comments of my more recent videos, like going over the last month or so, and somebody asked me to talk a little bit about creating a voiceover booth in a closet. And to be honest, I was a little bit dismissive about it. I kind of said something like, well, you just, use the same treatment applications that you would anywhere else. And I kind of left it at that. But that wasn't fair because, yeah, there is something to talk about with closets because they can make really good voiceover booths, but not all closets. And that's what I want to get into. Okay, first, there are some good points about closets. Many of them offer some sort of isolation. You know, they're typically in a quiet part of the home, you know, whether it's a bedroom or some place out of the way, tucked out of the way. Those are the better ones anyway. Closets that aren't around high traffic areas, that aren't around a lot of utilities, appliances, that kind of thing. Not that you want to record when you've got any of that running anyway, but they can make really good spaces to sort of close yourself in. It's kind of a pre-made booth, isolation booth, kind of sort of, but not made like an isolation booth. The nice thing is that the structure is there so that you can go ahead and treat the space for acoustics pretty easily. But there are some drawbacks. Let me just put my notes up here so I can refer to them easier. Okay, so these are the good points. They can be isolated, which is good. They already have a structure in place, which is good, and they can be easier to treat acoustically, just because you have something to attach the treatment to. Let me get this mic out of my way a little bit. Okay, now here are some not so good points about them. And during my little speech here, I'm going to show some video that I took of a couple closets in my house that would not make great vocal booths. Here's the thing. If a closet is too small, they can sound boxy. They can sound funny because your microphone is near highly reflective materials, drywall and closet doors and things. Even when they're treated, you're still in a small booth, and it's better to have some space around your microphone. You know what I mean? Give it a sense of air, give it a sense of space. It helps it sound more natural. Getting back to the video that I have here, if it's one of those closets with sliding doors that's only about 2 feet deep, they usually end up not sounding great. I've had the opportunity to help a lot of people put their vocal booths together, and I've heard a lot of closets, and there are trends. Smaller closets, smaller, more confined spaces do not make great vocal booths, and for a few reasons. It's that boxy quality. They need actually more treatment in many ways. They need bass traps because there's nowhere for bass frequencies to go, and it can sound a little muffled, a little boxy, a little unnatural. They're uncomfortable, especially for a larger person like me. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. I'm not a small person. So imagine getting me into one of those closet spaces with the sliding door. You come in, you turn, and I'm like, I'm showing, I kind of showed that in the video. Or closets where it's like a broom closet or a small linen closet like I showed in the video, and you're right up tight against everything. There's no place for a microphone. There's no place to set anything up. So smaller closets don't work out very well. Closets under stairs look like a great idea, but again, they're small, they're tight. if people need to walk up and down the stairs, well, that's no good. So let's talk about larger closets, walk-in style closets. They can be much better. Now, you still have to sacrifice some of your closet space, and closet space, I realize, is at a premium in most people's homes. You need space for all your stuff, but you gotta carve out a little space to at least set up a little workstation where you've got your computer and your microphone, a copy stand if you're not reading copy right off of your computer, which is what I always do. I just read right off of that, right off my computer screen. However, in whatever closet you use, you still need to treat it acoustically. Even a nice large walk-in closet, even if you have all of those wonderful things that most people have in their closets, like clothes, pillows and blankets and other linens, sleeping bags, all that kind of stuff. That's great for absorbing sound, but there's still a lot of reflective space, and you have to mitigate the effects of that. I mean, there's the ceiling, there's the floor, there's the backside of the door that you close in on yourself. All of those hard surfaces have to be covered to one extent or another. Many times you don't have to cover every square inch, but it depends. And the only way you'll find out when it's right is when it sounds right. There's no getting around that. The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding in this case is awesome audio quality. Sometimes, here's the thing about closets. If you, like me, if you don't have a sufficient closet to build something into, sometimes it's better just to create something in another room, another larger space. Many times you'll get better quality audio from that, even if it's a simple blanket booth, blanket booth. If you haven't seen my video about blanket booths, I will link it down in the description. Because in some ways you have more control. You can make it as big or as more or small as you want. You can customize the size if you build your own. Of course, you can buy pre-made ones, kits that you simply put together. But in many cases, you'll get better results that way. Hark, I hear my dog. Anyway, back to this. So closets can be a great space. I would recommend a large walk-in closet that you take a little piece of and create a space that is well treated acoustically, and is comfortable to work in. Because many times, once you get going, you might be spending a lot of time on mic. So you don't want to be, huddled over in some little closet. Anyway, that's my 2 cents anyway. And if you don't have a closet that's big enough, consider another option like a blanket booth or something like that. Okay. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments about this or any other topic, please leave them down in the comment section. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one regarding studio setup, performance coaching, anything voiceover related, demos, I produce demos, please have a look at the Calendly link in the description, and you'll find some options there. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful, and thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Again, also feel free to, if you have any questions about topics you'd like me to discuss in a video, please leave it down below, and I'll give it my serious consideration. Anyway, thanks again. Take it easy.